Thank you. This is a broken world full of everyday sufferings and injustice. The key question that would change the world is, what do we do about injustice we see? This is my story. My name is Fermi Wong. I'm a social worker. I was born in China. I came to Hong Kong in 1981 when I was 11 years old. I am a quite outspoken person too, but sometimes this means trouble. I remember when I was about 4 or 5 years old, I kept asking silly questions because I thought Chairman Mao, I think everyone knows that, was a god rather than a human being. So I was wondering how his life was, such as whether he slept, he ate or drank, or whether he went to the toilet. One day, I was eating a sweet potato, and then I asked my mom again, so Chairman Mao also eat this? My mom was so tiresome by those silly and repeated questions. She said, no, Chairman Mao eat poo. Wow! I was suddenly bursting with excitement that I was holding on to a big secret. Right, Chairman Mao feed on poo. So I immediately rushed to an assembly hall that want to ask the people there whether they know what Chairman Mao ate. Of course, everybody laughed crazily when I revealed the big secret. I was really proud of myself. Next day, a group of government officers and the village leader came to my home to ask my mom to discipline me, said that she shouldn't let me to be too outspoken. So I always thankful to God, Jesus, by the way, I'm a Christian, that my family has got a chance to be immigrant to Hong Kong because I really appreciate the freedom of speech here. We face quite a lot of difficulties when we just arrived in Hong Kong. Language barrier, Cantonese is not my mother tongue. My mother tongue is Fujianese. Cultural differences, that many people, Hong Kong people, in fact, take Chairman Mao as an evil rather than a god, right? It's cultural differences. And also poverty. And we live in a wooden squatter house in Diamond Hill, Kowloon. I still remember there were times a mouse or a cockroach just walked across my forehead when I was sleeping. The living condition was rather nasty. My family has one more disadvantage, that 4 family members out of 7 have mental disability. Education did not help them to improve their lives. Till this day, I still witness their disadvantage and also sufferings. I'm the only one in my family who received university education. Oh, thank you. I appreciate the importance of education. Yeah, being forgotten is the worst form of discrimination. There were 2 snapshots that make my life direction and also career change a lot. The first one was when I working with for a social service center for children and youth in some Shui-Po area. And the center never served African minorities and did not allow any African minorities to enter the center. But I was approached by a group of Pakistani primary school students for my social services. And of course, my supervisor and colleagues didn't support. So I used my own lunchtime to pull out a ping pong table to let those children to play. And I faced very strong opposition. So just like the ARMA, we asked my supervisor in front of me, so when will you fire Ms. Wong that bring these South Asians so smelly? I started to work as a social worker since 1995. And I started to encounter South Asians since 1998. So I left the center, and I moved myself to another social service agency in Yamate and Tsim Sha Tsui area, working as an outreaching social worker to serve African minorities. One day in 1999, two of my colleagues went with me to my working spot I call Jordan Park, where many South Asian, Nepalese, Pakistani, and India, that children will go there. There were around 50 to 60 children, boys and girls were there when we arrived. And among them, around 20 to 30 children had lined up. They want to tell me their difficulties one by one. And I was busy in listening to their stories. But after half an hour, my colleague said, hey, we have a walk around. No one is here. And he has no service need. So let's go, Fermi. I was shocked. And that was my first time I realized the real meaning of invisibility and also the indifference. I decided to make those kids become visible. And of course, I faced even stronger oppositions. The reasons were resources was limited. African minorities, South Asians, was not in our service priority. And we are Chinese. We have to serve the Chinese first. After 2 years struggling, I was forced to resign. That was the year of 2000. I didn't want to be fired again just because I served African minorities. So I set up my own NGO, Unison, in 2001, March. I worked as a full-time voluntary social worker. No funding support, therefore no salaries for 3 years. But I was lucky. I got a free office and also free second-hand furniture, equipment. And I have my own handmade name cards. Because I take away food boxes to figuring my name cards. So some people mistaken that I was sponsored by McDonald's or Canon or KFC, but I wasn't. I rely on my sister's pocket money, but of course I did feel embarrassed as I'm the only one receive university education. So I told my sister, I said, okay, don't give me cash, just do it auto pay, right? So my sister today is here, Tracy. So yeah, thank you to my sister. And of course, as a one-woman organization, I had many roles. I was the social worker, I was the agency head, I was the technician for office equipment, I was the cleaner, armor. One day, two Nepalese ladies came to my office, said, I'm looking for a social worker, while I was cleaning my office. And with my sleeves folded up, and the trouser legs folded up, of course. And then the ladies just said, I said, yes, I'm a social worker. But the ladies, they looked to each other, and they looked at me. One of them said that, but we want a view one, a view social worker. I said, yes, I am a view one. Immediately, of course, I straightened and tidy myself, very professional. I said, yes, I'm a view social worker. I believe in education because some of my family members could not benefit from education due to their inborn limitation. But later in my life, I realized that some people could not benefit from education, not because they lack of abilities, just because they lack of opportunities. South Asians, Nepalese, Pakistani, Indians. In 1998, it was very hard for them to have a school pace. In 1998, there were only 4 government-subsidized schools admitting working class African minorities in Hong Kong. Given that we have more than 1,200 government-subsidized schools, and we have a policy of 9 years free and compulsory education for the children who are aged 6 to 15. But my kids, they had to wait for a school place from few months to 3 years. And I consider that is unjust and unfair. And I decided to make them become visible by putting them to the schools. So I put their stories to the media. I write a lot of letters to the CE, lawmakers, EXCO. I talk about their problems to everyone. So from 1998 to 2004, the schools only from 4 increased to 10, 3 secondary schools and 7 primary schools to admit the South Asians. So I said to the Education Bureau, I'm going to sue you. So by using the Bill of Rights. And then they opened the door in 2004. Yeah. In theory, our FMRT children do enjoy equal access to basic education, but there are still a lot of barriers in place, making a large number of FMRTs in some low-quality schools. Until now, every year we have only less than 1% of FMRT students from government schools that are able to go to universities. People didn't care. People didn't understand. People didn't want to change anything for a group of people they consider as an outgroup. There was an instant made me take another fight. One day in 1999, I was with a group of Nepalese kids, and I dressed in Nepalese costume. On that day, we had a football match, and we wanted to buy some soft drinks from a store in Yuen Long. But we were rejected. When we entered to the store, the shop owner said, no Nepalese, go away. I said, I'm Chinese. 我係中國人嚟嘅喎. The shop owner said that, don't pretend if you were Chinese just because you can speak some Cantonese. 唔好以為識講少少廣東話就係中國人得㗎，走啦 ，go. I was wondering how my kids' life would be if I wasn't with them. But my kids said that, hey, miss, that's common. We were used to it. But I thought, it shouldn't be a fact of life. They have to accept it. So I realized that every artist in Hong Kong, they need legal protection. We need a law prohibits racial discrimination. So I start to lobby both locally, internationally, intensively, and tirelessly. I went to UN, United Nations, with some lawmakers and human rights activists 3 times in 2008 and 2009. I lobbied to the government departments, officers, CE, lawmakers, EXCO members, political parties. I lobbied to all the community leaders, church leaders, and I also put a lot of stories to the newspaper to embarrass Hong Kong government. And I organized petitions, demonstrations, and I talked to everyone about the situation. After 10 years fight, with many people's effort, a law was passed in 2008 and became effective in 2009. That is Stephen Fisa, who drafted the waste bill. With a passion to fight against injustice, I do find many other people share this passion too. So doing my advocacy work, some kind heart and 5 people joined Unison. You see, Stephen Fisa, who was the government official who drafted the waste bill, joined Unison after his retirement. A former lawmaker, Ms. Margaret Ng, who was the chairlady for the waste bill committee in NETCO, also joined Unison. So from one woman organization until now, we have a team of 8 staffs and also 14 board members that we share the same mission to fight against injustice and racial discrimination. Of course, FMRTs face considerable difficulties in Hong Kong, especially after 1997. Chinese is become essential for one to fully participate in Hong Kong mainstream society. So our current challenge is to advocate effective Chinese education for our FMRT students who study in government schools. without adequate Chinese language skills, it will be seriously limited their equal opportunities in the fields of education and employment, of course, as well as other civil and political rights. We are fighting for Chinese as a second language curriculum for all of the children to learn Chinese effectively so that they can fully integrate to the Hong Kong mainstream society. My message today is, if we see injustice, but do nothing about it, take no actions, it means we endorse it. A rose, no matter how its name is changed, is still fragrant. Humans, no matter what their colors are, have the same dignity. Thank you.